it's talked about this is it's not a per se kidnapping. Rukmini was in agreement and Krishna was in love with her. So this is a mutual understanding, and they decided to basically, get married. So this is a Danav marriage, basically Asura marriage. Then there is there are other two types of marriage also. So we discuss on that. Both of the partners, those bride and bridegroom, are in agreement. And also we discuss this is not a common practice. It was there at that time. As Charu Prabhu mentioned, it was there only in Kshatriyas, not for everybody. It's not meant for now. So this message has to go and understand very clearly, because people most of the time misunderstand with that. So with that, let's come to the basically themes here. So first theme is Krishna swiftly arrives in Kundinapura, followed by Balraman with a mighty army, the capital of Vidarbha, where King Bhishmaka and King Damagosa, the father of Shishupal, were about to perform pre-marriage ritual, basically to perform for a welfare of the bride as well as welfare of the bridegroom. So this is the Vedic tradition, and as we Hare Krishna, somebody said something. Okay, so as we understand, Rukmini writes a letter. It goes to Brahmana, carries that, and Lord Krishna receives it. And then Krishna looks into the calendar and he says only 2 nights are left out. So not much of the time. And he just takes the Brahmana, and along with the Brahmana, he rushed to Vidarbha, Kundanpur. Right?
Excuse me,
Kundan.
Prabhuji, sorry, bol.
Yeah.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I suggest you bypass all this because everybody knows the class has been already on. So sooner you get into the questions, answers, I think it's better, because that's where we spend more time.
I agree, Prabhuji. I fully agree. Okay, so we'll start with Charu Prabhuji doesn't want, because we discuss on like last time Mother explained very nicely. So let's start with that. So first thing, okay. So it's slokas 1 to 23. Krishna swiftly arrived at Kundanapur, followed by Balraman with a mighty army, the capital of Vidarbha, where King Bhishmaka and the King Damaghosha, the father of Shishupal, were about to perform. So let's read here at the end, because this is where the philosophy lies. Each word has a significant meaning, and we will go dive in. I'll have some questions. I will also explain few things. The tension between divine plans and human emotions are apparent, as Krishna emerges not just as a strategic figure, but also a compassionate lover. Very important. So Krishna being Krishna, he is playing a role of a human, basically shows the human emotions. At the same time, he shows his divine qualities. Both are going side by side. As Krishna emerges not as strategic figure, but also companionate lover. So one can be a strategy with a strategy if the strategy doesn't end in a loving, because this is a between love between Lord and his devotees. That's at the end of that. That's the whole story message for us. So if there's no compassionate love, then the strategy doesn't make any sense here. So this is very important. Second thing is duality, embodying the both holy and human aspect, emphasizes potential his portrayal with a unique warmth and humility. We see the Krishna's warmth and humility. So with that, we'll start the first question. I just use the same word. Question 1. This is page 16. Okay, and it's there. So page 16. What is the significance of metaphor, stealth and strategy as referred to Lord Krishna? This is the first question. The answer is here. Anybody can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, go ahead, Mother.
Krishna, deep understanding regarding the situation with Rukmi, brother of Rukmani, and his unwavering decision, fixed determination to win Rukmani, depicted through this metaphor.
Okay, so what word stealth and strategy means? I think if you don't understand the inner meaning, so go ahead, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
showing his divine awareness of the obstacles that stand on his way, his calmness in the face of turmoil, is not a testament but a source of awe of his ability to maintain in challenging situation, which inspires admiration to his character.
Yeah, and the characters, as Charu Prabhuji has given at the top, we just mentioned, right? At the top, we read a few, because I may not read everything, but which is a very importance, we'll go. So thank you, Mother. So then there's the next question. We have preparation for the marriage. What is the significance of wearing new clothes on the auspicious occasion in a Vedic tradition? And we discussed about the new coming from the power loom, or those words were there. What is the significance of that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It symbolizes the purity and auspiciousness. Yeah.
Yes. So it shows the purity and auspiciousness, because every marriage is a solemn, marriage is a solemn occasion where bride and bridegroom start their new life. It is not just like somebody get together and start the family life. There's a much more things rooted into that in a Vedic civilization. So marriage, definitely the new cloth indicates a purity of that. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll go to the next one. That's up page 70. So okay, here I also, again, there's a couple of lines. One line I'll read because we have time. Given. This episode is rich with themes of love, rivalry, and complexity of duty, highlighting the intricate relationship between the characters involved. So what are the characters? Basically, Lord is there, and the Rukmini is there, and Rukmi is also there. Other kings are there. Everybody is there. So there's a love between Krishna and Rukmini. We see apparently. We see rivalry. Other kings don't want because they're envious, and that becomes a complexity, because again they were Rukmini was Rukmini's brother. So a lot of complications are there, characters involved. So we see that. So first question is that explain. Uh, Please explain the contemporary mindset of assembled Kshatriyas, kings, inimical to Lord Krishna, showcasing power, jealousy, and honor in royal circles. So we see that there are thousands of kings, started with Jarasanga, and there are others also, prominent kings. We'll be talking about this is one of the questions on that. And what was their mood? So the question again here, let me read here. Please explain the contemporary mindset at that time. Okay, so mindset of assembled Kshatriya kings, inimical to Lord Krishna, showcasing power, their jealousy, and their honor in a royal circle. So can someone go ahead?
Their collective decision reveals the political dynamics to confront Krishna, showing the length they could go to prevent his desires.
Okay.
Showcasing their power, jealousy, and honor in royal circles.
Yeah, can you spell little? Yeah, can you spell about power? What means of jealousy? How Kshatriyas are indicating their honor? Because each word has a meaning. Each word has a meaning there.
Yeah, POWER, power.
Yes.
And jealousy, GEALOUSY, and honor in royal, ROYAL.
So what power means? What indicates that power? Kshatriya kings. What jealousy indicates here? What is the honor? How we see that they talk about honor. What is their honor?
They didn't wanted their daughter, Rukmini. They wanted to get married in the same their own family, for which they had decided for a ring for a king. That is that honor for them. And a jealousy, they were very jealous to Lord Krishna. Yeah. And the power which they think their power was they were very much powerful.
Yeah, thank you. This is what we have to look, because this word has significance, right? If you use in the same line, then if you don't give the context to that, really doesn't make sense on that, right? So then 18, I think 17. Yeah, so I'll read here Balraman's concern, because details are coming here. This involvement adds like a Balraman, Lord Krishna once he hears, after hearing from that Brahmana, he decides to, take the Brahmana and chariot called Daruka, and they come, right? So without looking anything. And then Brahman looks into that, and he also omnipotent, omniscient, so he knows everything, what is happening, what's likely to happen also. And he also comes with large military in case there is a confrontation. He knows all that. That's what is there. So this involvement of another layer reveals his protective nature of Lord Balraman. The question is coming more details, so I kept it up. I parked for the next one, not here. So again, this Lord Balraman plays a very significant role in that. Also we see protection. He is the elder brother, and compassion. Even though he knows who is the Lord Krishna is not an ordinary person, right? But still, there's a protection involved with that. So we'll go to the next one, page 18. Okay. So here I have one question, page 18. Please explain Rukmini's internal turmoil, highlighting worldly attachment and spiritual aspiration as compared to Lord's attachment and transcendental detachment. So two things are there, and it is very nicely articulate here. How the Lord looks into that, how Rukmini looks into that. One is transcendental, another is since they are playing a role of a human. So just comparison. So again, important is that please explain Rukmini's internal turmoil, because this is a highlight of everything. And as we'll go, if we have time, we'll discuss about what turmoil that connects with us. Also, we should have the similar. Rukmini's whatever Rukmini does, we are supposed to also not. We cannot be in that exactly, but get the clues from that and follow up. That is the meaning of that. So what is the? This is the question, right? So what is the answer? How Rukmini looks at it, and how Krishna looks at it. Yes, there is an urgency, right?
Krishna love for Rukmani is both attachment as well as transcendental detachment. And on the other hand, this Rukmani's highlights the tension between the bodily attachments and spiritual aspirations.
Yeah, very nice. So there is only one question: external detachment. What it means? The detachment we talk about.
External detachment. This this worldly attachment.
Okay. So he doesn't show that emotion externally, but internally, he was with Rukmini. He doesn't show because that is the Lord divinity on that, right? So going forward, and Charupaj will at the end, like these are the very important. That's why we are studying, right? Each and every word we should study little deeper. Okay, so next couple of things are there: interplay of destiny and divine will. I'll quickly go through that. Okay, let me. Interplay of destiny and divine will. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur notes how Krishna. Yeah, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
The full thing. I just put a short.
No, that's okay. That's okay. VCT is also okay. Knows how
Krishna. Many times I use VCT. Here, just a quick,
No problem. So how Krishna's awareness of auspicious astrological condition reflects interplay, because when Brahmana talks about, he sees that only 2 nights are there, and that's why urgency. That's question coming up here. I'm not going. So he immediately leaves. The moment he hears, he takes Brahmana and he leaves. Right? We understand that. So the interplay of destiny. The Rukminis, marriage and all that, everything was the stake, and Krishna wants to intervene. This is the very nicely explained here. Nature of conflict. Gathering of king against Krishna represents some materialistic tendencies of envy and competition, and it happened. India, many small kings were there, always fighting with each other. We see that's how the nature of kings was there at that time. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that these kings, motivated by their rivalry with Krishna, embody the challenges that arise from ego and pride. And Kshatriyas are supposed to be, pride. They are Joguna people, right? We understand Bhagavad Gita. Their collective decision to oppose Krishna serves as an illustration to folly the material desires in the face of divine love and purpose. We'll discuss about the way they are, discouraging or they are objecting the marriage of Rukmini. We also in devotional service, we have many obstacles we can compare with that. Let's go to the page 19. I have one question here. Please explain explain significance of Lord Balraman's concern for Lord Krishna's safety, knowing knowing well Krishna came alone to rescue Rukmini despite Lord Krishna's divinity and strength. We all know Krishna alone can deal with. Lord Balraman also knows. But despite that, Balraman immediately follows. And we see that the Krishna reached within one night. Archana Mataji was talking about Vidarbha, and Dwarika, there's a lot of distance. Overnight he traveled. And apparently it looks like Balraman also traveled overnight with all those elephants and all the armies. So it's not difficult, right, on that one. So what was his concern here? Balraman's concern.
Though Balram knows that Krishna is divine power, omniscience, and but he's more concerned about his safety, Krishna's safety. So he has the feeling of brotherhood and as the elder brother and too much loyal to Krishna. So that's why he's
thank you, Mother.
Emotions, deep emotions, yes.
Emotion. They are playing also role of attachment. Role of human being.
Love
Yes.
and affection. That is what is completely superseded that Supreme Personality Godhead and all other factors. Okay, that is what we have to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. We have to pick up, right? So fifth is friendship and loyalty. Balram's concern for Krishna, despite omniscient, highlight nature of his friendship as well as his elder brother. Conclusion here, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur purports to these verses illustrate the complexity of divine love between these two, Rukmini and Krishna, the influence of destiny. Rukmini was to be married to somebody and free will, and her desire to change that, and nature of conflict arising from envy. Significance of dharma in a human interaction and importance of emotional bond. Okay, so so we'll go to the next now, page 21. 21, I have one question. Please explain the anxiety and agonizing pain Rukmini went through to get Lord Krishna. Very important question, and this is the essence of entire chapter. I can say that Rukmini, how she feels for a Krishna, that kind of a feeling. Even she said that the highest bar, but also it's a message for us also. So please explain the anxiety and agonizing pain Rukmini went through to get the Lord Krishna. Second thing, to that, longing for Lord and its application to your personal life. So let's go ahead with how she went through, anxiety. What anxiety Rukmini had to get the Krishna. Can somebody go ahead? Those who are not spoken, Achana Mataji or Asha Mataji spoke, or somebody else can come forward. Raksha Mataji, Hindi में भी चलेगा. Anything will do. समता माता जी.
प्रभु जी, आई एम सो सॉरी, मगर मैंने स्टडी में नहीं थी ना, तो मैंने स्टडी नहीं किया. अभी क्लास बाकी है. आई एम नॉट.
अभी रुक्मिणी का लेटर पढ़ के तो पता है ना क्या होगा, इतना तो आप यू कैन. हाँ, तो एंग्जाइटी क्या थी रुक्मिणी की? एंग्जाइटी क्या थी? कृष्णा मिलेंगे या नहीं मिलेंगे, राइट?
यस यस प्रभु जी.
हाँ, तो क्या इधर है आंसर, ये है, इसी साइड पे है. पर्सनली चारू ऑल रिलेट एंग्जाइटी हियर. दिस इज द आंसर हियर.
प्रभु जी, may I try?
Go ahead, mother.
So Rukmini wanted to get married to Sri Krishna, but because of his because of her family helplessness, she had to she had to follow the societal norms. But she didn't want to do that. So she was ready to undergo all the challenges and all the penances to get married to Sri Krishna, and she was also expecting that if there is some hoping from her past pious karmas, that if she had done past pious karmas, it would help her to, if she could, on basis of that, she could get married to Lord Krishna. So she wanted to get married to Lord Krishna only and not anybody else. So she was very loyal to Lord Krishna. So her anxiety was because she was waiting for him to come, and by the time he comes, till the time she was very anxious and full of anxiety whether he'll come or no, or yeah.
But
She
what
was
goes through her mind? Because this is again nice question. What was going through her mind when, because she was not sure Krishna will really reach, and then there are three, four questions there, right? It comes. So first of all, she says maybe Krishna started. Is there anything he's found out any fault in me or something? That sequence, right? We can deal here itself. That it goes sequentially, and then it's like maybe Brahma, maybe Shiva, all that. Maybe Rudrani is not there. That is the sequence, right? What goes through her mind, and then closes eye, meditate. Before I leave the body, let me meditate on Lord Krishna. Can somebody walk through that?
प्रभु जी वो रुक्मणी की शादी के लिए जो दिन था वो रात ही एक बचा था, और वो काफी डिस्टेंस पे था, महाराष्ट्र से गुजरात। तो उसको था कि ब्राह्मण मतलब मैसेज मेरा पहुंचता है कि नहीं पहुंचता, वेदर कृष्णा कम्स आर नॉट, और मेरी शादी इधर हो जाएगी। तो मैं शादी होने को है और सब कुछ तैयार हो गया, प्रिपरेशंस हो रही हैं, और मेरे को शीज क्या करना है, मतलब शी इज़ रेडी टू सेक्रीफाइस हर लाइफ अगर कृष्णा नहीं आते हैं। ऑल दिस इज गोइंग इन हर माइंड। और फिर ये था कि आने के बाद भी उसको काफ़ी वो परेशानी का सामना करना पड़ रहा है कि मेरी फैमिली और इनके बीच में लड़ाई ना होए, और ये सब उनके बहुत ज़्यादा, शी वॉज इन ए वेरी टेंशन स्टेज।
Yeah, but there are three things given. Quickly, I will just talk about. I think those are things we have to see. These are obstacle. Some different way will come to in our life also. I'll just elaborate in what. So she's saying Krishna, Brahmana has not come. So only one night was left out, and she was anxiously waiting for that. And then saying maybe Krishna found out fault in me, even though Krishna doesn't have fault in himself. So Krishna no fault, but there may be fault in me. That is what he started. Maybe blood destiny. Lord Brahma doesn't want our union. Maybe Shiva doesn't want. And then there's a analysis that Shiva cannot get a petty thing. Then maybe Rudrani, she talks about Rudrani. Maybe she cried herself, want me to cry, so let me cry. And then he talks about that what is the last one, Gauri, right? Girija Sati, right? So she meditated. So those are the things, it gives us really to see that what all she went through that, and then closes eyes and she said, "Let me give up my body," and then says, "Okay, there's some time, and before I give up my body, let me meditate on the Lord." Okay, and then she closes eyes and she start meditating until then the Brahmana shows up, right? So these are very essence of that. That's what I look at it. Okay, so next is so preparation of marriage. We can see that how grand marriage, because it's a king, the big king, right? So envious kings were there. We discussed on that, and Balraman's concern. So we saw that. Let's go to the 22. I have two questions. After Rukmini visits to the Ambika temple, on seeing her enchanting beauty, please describe reaction of citizens and the reaction of warriors. This is the first, and second is explain as to how nature of perception changes between devotees look and non-devotee, as illustrated by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. So, how the devotee sees that is citizen of the that dham, and how kings non-devotees see that. When the Rukmini comes out of the temple, beautiful dress and all that, right? The charm and that I sent the question. Maybe somebody could have gone through that. Can somebody elaborate on that? Go ahead.
Prabhuji, citizens have deep love for Rukmani. They have spiritual thinking, but the warriors are blinded by their lust. They are they are thinking in just in the opposite way. So it means that they all non-devotees always he cannot recognize
Maya.
whether the divine essence in the others, in the devotees.
They were seeing the Maya up there, right? That's what
Yes.
is there. This is a very good question. I think if somebody can quickly elaborate, otherwise we need to go ahead. Or can somebody add again little more? This is a very important. How a devotee can see, how non-devotee can see, and how the perception change. There's another question. We'll go through that little later on this. Anybody wants to add? Achana Mataji, any?
Prabhuji, non-devotee can fail to recognize the divine essence in others.
Yes.
तो उन्हें वो पता नहीं चलता कि ये डिवाइन है कि नहीं है, मगर जो डिवोटी होता है वो सब जगह पे डिविनिटी देख सकता है.
They are not illusion. The illusory energy of Maya was showing on the king. So that's what as Mataji said, right? So they were showing her in a different female body, right? But the devotees were looking, the citizen of that place were looking in a different way. Correct?
Non-devotees see the external beauty only.
Correct.
Not
Yes.
internal. But devotees always see the internal beauty.
Okay. So next question is on the same page, how Krishna kidnaps Rukmini? In the presence of all the warriors, and what analogy used here?
He is very calm, and in a very calm way comes, and not in showing this युद्ध करने का हिसाब किताब ना दिखा के कामली वो बाकी उनको पता ही नहीं चलता कि ये किडनैपिंग या कुछ और स्टेज बहुत
They could not realize. Yeah.
Yes. Deep understanding Krishna has.
They were just shocked.
Yeah, Rukmini was walking. Rukmini was only looking for Krishna. She loses the shyness, looks for Krishna. The moment she sees Krishna, Krishna picks up her hand and they go without in a blink of an eye, right?
Yeah. Everyone is just shocked because no one expected this kind of event happens.
Yeah, just like a lion picks up from the jackal, right? That example analogy is given. Okay,
very
so
good analogy is given there.
Yeah. So who is Rukmini in her original form?
Lakshmi Devi, the eternal consort of the Lord.
Okay. So then quickly, next question. We have only 10 minutes now. Please explain how the citizens express their gratitude or their love to Rukmini. And they desire that Rukmini should get married to Krishna. Can you give how they were feeling, citizen?
The wives of Brahmana are giving our blessing to Rukmani. They are meditating all, and all are merciful that you will get Krishna.
Okay. So second thing,
they are very happy. They are very happy.
They are willing to give all their austerity they are perform, right? So Rukmini is the only person. There are 7 sentences used by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. So all the meaning is that Rukmini is the only suitable wife for Krishna, and Krishna is only suitable for Rukmini. So all different 7 sentences. We don't have really time to go through that. Next is there's one question. What was the prayer of Rukmini to Ambika?
Okay, we had a discussion as well on this. Okay, ultimately Rukmini wants Krishna. Okay, that is the prayer to Ambika. And there was a question from Sharat Prabhu as well. Okay, that summarizes when you are going for a demigod, we should ask for Krishna Prema.
Yeah, and she said the way Krishna, Ambika married to Shiva, their relation is eternal. She also wants, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that also that relation should exist between her and Lord Krishna. She prays to Ganesha also, as you said, demigod, so remove obstacle, right? That was the prayer. Okay, so in a short question of time, we'll go through that. There's another question I'm just reading, that 24 that 10 questions. Seeing the enchanting beauty of Rukmini, how perception shapes experience and why it matters, because that is the meaning you carry out. if you are a devotee, you see the things as they are. If you are non-devotee, don't see that. Then on 24, I have a couple of questions here, and then we'll go very simple questions on that. So 24, pivotal role of divine intervention, as in the case of rescue of Rukmini, and how divine will orchestrate events, ultimately benefit devotees. So simplify the question, basically how Krishna intervenes and marries the Rukmini, because that was think of Rukmini as a devotee, that was the desire. So here how Lord intervenes, and does he intervene the similar way in our life also?
Yes, Prabhuji, when we show the sincerity and complete devotion and we are completely surrendered to him, so that time Lord can intervene and change the fate also.
Yeah. Okay. So then there are 3-4 questions. I think I'm running short. So why King Bhishmaka allowed Rukmini marriage to Shishupal despite his personal desire for Krishna? This should be simple question.
He was fearful
Rukmini,
of his son.
his son. Correct. So next question is okay, why Rukmini did not give up her body in desperation? But as I mentioned, she was meditating on the Lord Krishna. That is the long whole process was there. Then what was the name of the Brahmana? Anybody remembers?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Sunanda. Sunanda. It is a mention. Sunanda. Sunanda. Okay. Why, last couple of questions, why King Bhishmaka issued both lords? He knew that there will be a trouble, but he still issued, welcomed them, gave a nice place to stay. Why?
Because he was interested
Yes.
that Rukmani should be married to Krishna. That's why.
Okay, that's one. There was another explanation also given. They came as if they wanted to attend the marriage, right? So both were there. Okay, so what was the Rukmini's suggestion in her kidnapping to avoid family bloodshed? Mataji mentioned that. So the whole thing was planned between Krishna and Rukmini. So again, just last winding on here. So this gives how Rukmini, she is the divine, eternal consort of the Lord Krishna. She is the highest, sets the highest bar, but there's also inherent message for us how we have to need a longing, how we need to think about Lord Krishna also, how she thought about different obstacles and all that, how to overcome, how cooperatively work with Krishna. Krishna also cooperate there. So divine intervention, Charu Prabhuji talks about. If we have desire, the divine intervenes. And then end result is successful, right? We see in many on that. So I will stop here, Prabhuji, because I think
Prabhuji, it
time
means
is also
in every
good.
situation we should not give up our devotion.
We should not give up
any-
our devotion. Yes. At any stand, Rukmini did not give up. I think Achana Mataji gave that analogy how things were step by steps, right? So her mind, how she was thinking in her mind. That was there. So I'll just stop here. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Otherwise, it's a next. It's a back to Achana Mataji for the next. Next class. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
On 6th June at the Jagannath Puri temple, there were the भगवान का लीला हो रहा था, यही रुक्मणी विवाह और रुक्मणी का हरण, वो लीला पूरा चल रहा था जब हम लोग ने विजिट किया तब, और यहाँ हमारा क्लास भी चल रहा था. So it is so, I'm so happy that coincidence is happening.
Yes.
Coincidence happened. Very nice. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Radha Vinod Prabhuji. So we will begin today's presentations. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girin yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So I will share my screen. So today's presentation is going to be very exciting because today there's a lot of action going to happen. So, and we have to learn a lot of things, so many themes and so many lessons we can learn. So today, let us a little bit recap what was happening. That Rukmini Devi was coming out of the temple, and when she walked towards the doorway of the temple, she was now very shyly looking for Krishna everywhere because she was expecting him to be there to kidnap her. So it's mentioned the beauty of Rukmini Devi. She is so beautiful. She is so young, and from her she has beautiful locks of hair, and from those locks of hair she is parting those locks with her fingers, which resemble lotus flowers, and she is her face is also a huge beautiful lotus flower, and her eyes are also like lotus petals, and she is trying to look at Krishna, trying to look for Krishna in that crowd. You can see, imagine there are thousands and thousands of soldiers, and the kings are all seated on elephants and horses, and they're all, Rukmini is trying to look at, search for Krishna. So when this is happening, when she's looking for Krishna, everyone, all those kings could see her beauty, and when they saw her beauty, they almost fainted. So you can see imagine the scene there, that people, that all those kings, they are falling off the horses and elephants, and they're tumbling down because of seeing the beauty. And it's mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that it was only the illusory Maya which they could see, and not actually Rukmini. And then Rukmini sees Krishna, and Krishna holds her hand and pulls her onto the chariot. And this is how Krishna slowly takes the chariot in front of all those fallen soldiers, takes his bride away from there. Now what happens? Today there's going to be a lot of drama because all those kings now feel defeated already, that how dare Krishna take Rukmini right in front of our eyes, right? And so now they are very inimical towards Krishna. They're already inimical. So now we are going to see these 4 themes today. What is that? Krishna defeated the inimical kings after kidnapping Rukmini. That is one. Then Krishna disfigures Rukmini's envious brother Rukmi. And then Balaramji, he is now reproaching Krishna, very mildly though. He's reproaching Krishna. Why, Krishna? Why did you do like this? And you should not be disfiguring your brother-in-law like this. It's improper. And this way, and then he on the other side, he's pacifying Rukmini because he's just married. Rukmini has just married Krishna, and so she's a new bride. So he is pacifying her with spiritual instructions. And then finally, how Krishna brings Rukmini to Dwarka and marries her. So these are the beautiful themes today. So these are the central themes, and they're not just ideas, but they are profound truths. And now they're going to shape our understanding on our spiritual journey. So what happens is, in this essence, the passage which is being presented here is a collection of philosophical concepts, and it's going to highlight the interplay between the divine guidance of Krishna, and then how the impermanence of material life, how material life is so impermanent, it is not at all, it's temporary, and the significance of our faith, how we should place our faith, where we should place our faith. Resilience, how we should be resilient, although we may be defeated many times by Maya, but how we should be resilient. Then our community spirit, how we can come together as devotees and in our spiritual journey. So all these wonderful themes are going to be revealed here. So let us see the first scene. Now what is happening? The soldiers, now they are coming to attack Krishna like anything. And you know who are these great kings? They are from Chedi and Magad. And this Magad is Jarasandha, none other than Jarasandha, who came to attack Krishna 17 times. And Jarasanda's soldiers and Jarasandha they are throwing arrows like rainfall on top of Krishna. Just one Krishna is going, and the Jarasandha is throwing rain like showers of arrows. Well, Balaramji is just behind Krishna, so he knows this is going to happen. So he has come with his Narayani Sena. So the Narayani Sena just are ready. They stand in between Krishna and Jarasandha and all the other kings, and they twang their bows. Just by the twanging of their bows, entire army is fear struck. They're struck with fear. Then when these arrows, this shower of arrows are coming towards Krishna, Rukmini is getting very scared. She's looking at Krishna and she's looking very shyly, but also very full of fear. Her eyes are full of fear. And then Krishna smiles. It's a beautiful verse here where Krishna is telling Rukmini, don't worry. This is a very beautiful verse here. Prahasya Bhagavan ah masma bhair vama lochane. Vama lochane, that means beautiful eyed one. Please, masma bhair. That means don't feel afraid. Don't feel afraid. Don't be afraid. And he laughs. Prahasya. Krishna, Bhagavan is laughing. And then what beautiful verse he's saying? He's saying this enemy force means all these enemies, they are about to be destroyed by your soldiers. Look at the use of this word, your soldiers. How Krishna is putting it. Krishna is laughingly saying, you need not fear, because your army will defeat the enemy. How to express his great affection for Rukmini, Krishna is referring to his own Yadava army as your men, Tavakaihi, indicating that Krishna's entire dynasty was now the property of his beloved queen, Rukmini. So such protection, such assurance Krishna is giving to Rukmini. You need not fear. It's not just a momentary comfort, but it's a testament to the enduring nature of divine protection. So Krishna's divine protection is going to be forever. It's not just going to be just one sentence like that. But by just saying this, Krishna is saying that you are now going to get eternal protection. What does this highlight? This highlights the idea that true devotees of Lord Krishna, they can find solace and strength in their faith. Yes, we have faith in Krishna. We can find solace in that regardless of external circumstances, whatever happens outside, we don't care. Krishna's declaration that Yadava army belongs to Rukmini, what does it signify? It signifies a deep bond of love and trust between the divine and the devotee. So Krishna is always there for his devotee, a bond that is unbreakable and everlasting. Avashya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palan. So this is one of the Sharanagati verses, and this we should always remember. Next, now that all this Yadava army is now protecting, and they're just very angry with this kings like Jarasandha and all who are trying to oppose Krishna, immediately they are crushing them like an elephant crushes a lotus flower. Like that, the Yadava armies are just rampantly killing these soldiers of Jarasandha and all. So now they are defeating very, very quickly. They can defeat them. So now what is happening? Now they have already defeated, and then the kings feel very dejected. What is this? We have been defeated by this small little contingent of Yadava army. It's so small. We are like Akshayonis. Each of our kings of different Magadha and Chedi and so many, they all having Akshayonis of soldiers, and they have been defeated by this small little army of Krishna, small Yadava contingent. What is this? Then we can now see the transience of material existence. What is the mood of Jarasandha? How he is preaching? We can see that. So we can see here the king's reflections on happiness and unhappiness being like whose kings? These are the kings. They are reflecting on their happiness and unhappiness being impermanent, underscore the philosophical view of that worldly emotions are fleeting. So these Jarasandha is now trying to preach to everyone, including Shishupal has become like very morose. His face is very small. He's sitting in one corner. He doesn't know what to do. He's been defeated. His bride supposed to be, right? Because all the efforts have been made by his father, Damagosh. He's already, that Haldi, Mehndi, all has happened for him and for Rukmini, and supposed to get married. And it's almost like my wife already, you know. So his wife has been, like, in his mind, Rukmini is already his wife. So my wife has been kidnapped by that cowherd boy Krishna. How is this possible? He's become like totally dejected. And now Jarasandha is trying to tell him to reflect on how happiness and unhappiness are not permanent, they're temporary. So he's telling him all this philosophy, and he's telling him, you align this with the broader theme of detachment. Come on, be detached in spiritual practice. And then suggesting that one should remain equanimous amidst dualities of life. So now this is all dualities happening, and so victory, defeat, all this is, you know, I have suffered 17 times, I've been defeated. Still look at me like that. So next is control of fate and time. The metaphor of puppets controlled by the puppeteer illustrate the notion that living entities are subject to whims of fate and divine will. So he's telling, Darumai Yoshit Nrityate Kuhake Chaya. Kuhaka means puppeteer, and Ichaya means his Icha. According, see, although these are demons, but they don't recognize Krishna as the Supreme Lord, but they know that there is God. Okay, there's a difference. So he's telling him, see, we are all being like puppets. We are like Daru Mai Yoshit. We are like puppets, you know, and we are under the control of the puppeteer. That is God, of course, the supreme puppeteer. And then this is divine will. This is the whims of fate. So now Jarasandha is acknowledging the role of time in shaping events, and is emphasizing the belief that there is a higher power. Yes, it is orchestrating everything, and outcomes of battles, and what happens to our life, and all these individuals are being urged to accept their circumstances with humility. We should do that. We should be humble. We should accept everything, whatever comes to me. Look at me. So he's always giving his own experience. He's saying that living entities are receiving happiness and distress under the direction of Krishna. Not Krishna, he's saying direction of the Lord. That means he's thinking of God. He doesn't accept Krishna as God, but he accepts God. So thus we see that even though these demons, they are accepting the power of God, they are all demoniac, right? And because of being inimical to Krishna, they're inimical to Krishna, but they are demoniac because of that. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that, Jarasandha is saying that, see, I have been defeated 17 times, 17 battles with Krishna, using how many? 23 Akshayonis. 23 Akshayonis used to come always with 23 Akshayonis, and he will be defeated. Finally, he said, one battle I victorious. How he was victorious? Krishna was ranchod. Krishna ran away with his own free will, and he's thinking that he won the war. Never mind, he's happy. See, he's consoling himself that at least he won once. But he's saying that under the direction of fate and time moves and agitates everyone in this world. So he's explaining to Shishupal, don't worry. You know, it's like a cyclic time. It will come again and again. One time you are defeated, another time you will win. So he's saying that I was defeated by the meager entourage. So he's calling Krishna's army as Falgu Tantra. That means the Yadus are small little contingent, and they were able to meager, and I 23 Akshayonis. How great is my power! But they defeated me 17 times. So he's not giving up. No? He's not giving up. So this is the nature and Jarasandha is saying that when time becomes favorable, we will also win. So this is the hope against hope. So the nature of enmity and demoniac qualities, what is it? That the commentary is indicating that even those with power, like demons, Okay, they can remain in a state of ignorance and enmity towards Krishna. So they're demons, but they are so powerful. Can you imagine 23 Akshar so powerful they are? It's not a small thing, you know. Magad was the one of the biggest states of India in those days of Bharat, and it was the most powerful nation means that part khanda of Bharat in those days. So he had a supreme power at that time. Nobody could like come up to his mark. But because although so much power, but they had state of ignorance towards, because they had enmity towards Krishna. This reflects what? This reflects that the philosophical idea that the material prowess, it does not equate to the spiritual understanding. So you may be so much materially powerful, but you does not equate it to spiritual understanding. And that the truth of the strength lies in devotion, not in enmity. Okay, so not in antagonism. That is, doesn't mean that because you're antagonistic towards Krishna or enemical towards Krishna, then you are more powerful. No, because your true strength lies in your devotion. So now also we can see a positive side of Jarasandha, that is the resilience and hope. That Jarasandha's statement is, okay, we will wait, one favorable time will come, and it is only symbolizing what? Resilience. And also the nature of the hope is cyclic. That is, the hope is like circumstances can improve, right? Today it's like this, tomorrow it's not going to be like this, it could be better, right? Then the belief is that it's not a one-time occurrence, but it's recurrent theme. That in spiritual teachings also we should be very patient. We should be thinking that, okay, now I am under the clutches of Maya, and I will get myself free, and I will definitely win over Maya. Can we say that? Yes, we can say, I have been defeated 17 times at Maya. Now 18th time I will try to overcome this Maya, and I will try. This may not happen to me tomorrow. Maybe today I'm so downtrodden. I'm so totally caught up with Maya. But maybe because I'm going to be very, very resilient, and I'm going to keep up my hope that this cyclic nature of existence is there, and therefore I have enough patience, and I will wait for it one day to turn when I can completely surrender myself to Krishna. Then there's another point of camaraderie. Camaraderie means friendship. So there's unity in the community. So we have friendship amongst ourselves, like among our devotees. Like that, we should have friendship. These kings are showing that all these kings, they all came together. They all came together. Why? Because they had one common enemy, that is Krishna. So we all devotees have one common enemy, that is Maya. So we should all come together, and we should discuss our losses, and we should support each other, just like we can learn all these things, because what is the highlight? That is the importance of community and mutual support. What is that? We have to face our life's challenges. So can we draw support from all this? Yes, we can draw support from all our friends, because we can discuss how we suffered, we had problems, how we overcome that particular problem, how we this way Maya attacked me, and now because I took this recourse, and this is how I overcame the attack of Maya. So like this, when you hear from devotees their practical experiences, we get so much of strength. So this aspect is resonating with the idea of collective effort. So we should be always collective effort in spiritual endeavors, and we should not be all alone all the time. We'll try to make friends with devotees who are like-minded, and who will always be there with us to uplift us whenever we are down. Then we go to the next one. So here we're talking about this this also, we can consider this as a part of Mahabharata, because Krishna is also a very key figure of Mahabharata. So it's Mahabharata is teaching us, it's a rich source. It's got a lot of philosophical and moral teachings, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is nicely providing us so much of unique perspectives, right? So let us see all these perspectives in this thematic understanding of now Rukmi. We are now coming to what happens to Rukmi now. Rukmi is Rukmini's brother, and his strong desire to marry Rukmini to Shishupal. So how dare Krishna take away my sister? So he is feeling like that, and he is thinking that I am so powerful. Never mind all these kings who have been defeated. So he leaves them behind, and he alone follows Krishna and Rukmini, and he's calling out to Krishna in very derogatory ways, and he's trying to stop Krishna. He's very intolerant. The word uses amarshi, and is very angry. Susamrabdha. He took up his bow and he said, I will not enter Kundina. This Kundinapura is where the capital of Vidarbha, where Rukmini's palace is, Rukmini and Bhishmaka's palace is. So Rukmi is saying, I will not enter Kundina without killing Krishna and bringing back my sister Rukmini. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very nicely he is going to now from now on a few more shlokas where Rukmi is going to blaspheme Krishna. But Saraswati Devi, she cannot tolerate, whenever any demon is trying to blaspheme the Lord, she always sits on his tongue and makes him talk in a way which is dual. So he thinks it is in that way, but actually it comes out in a different way. So in this way, Saraswati is giving the meaning for this. Rukmini is saying that I will not enter Kundina because I do not understand Krishna. So that becomes in a different way, that I will kill Krishna becomes I do not understand Krishna. Ahatva, ajñatva. So that becomes like I do not know Krishna. Therefore, I will not try to stop him or free Rukmini. So the meaning becomes totally the other way. Then the next Rukmini is saying, today with my sharp arrows, I will remove Nesye, the heroic pride of that stupid cowherd boy who has forcefully abducted my sister. He says like that. But from the viewpoint of Goddess Saraswati, what is the meaning? Today, the intoxication of pride I have in my own prowess will be removed by the sharp arrows of the cowherd boy, whose beautiful mind is compassionate even towards the wicked. So instead of Durmatehe being Krishna, Durmatehe becomes himself. So Mother Saraswati changes it. Kulapamsana can mean, oh, defiler of your dynasty. But according to the inspiration of Saraswati, Kulapamsana in the next word may be understood as the combination of the words Kulapa, or protector of Yadu dynasty, and Amsana, or expert killer of enemies. So, and stand here a moment. It can mean like that. It can also mean that stand here so that I may glance upon you. So now Rukmi is trying to degrade Krishna, but according to Saraswati, Rukmi is telling Krishna, you're so beautiful, you're so wonderful. Please stand here. I want to look at your beauty. So let me glance upon you. Let me look at you. So it's a totally opposite way. It's very beautiful the way Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is putting these words. So Rukmi is saying, you are taking my sister just like a crow. Dhvangshavat, like a crow stealing a sacrificial offering. Today, Adya, O fool, I will take away your pride in being a false warrior and cheater. This is what Rukmi is saying. But how Saraswati Devi is trying to change the meaning. The other meaning is, since my sister is Mahalakshmi and thus she belongs to you, whether you steal her or not, wherever you go, she is your own essence. Swasaram. She is your own essence. She is yours anyway. So after releasing my sister from you, I will bring her back to my house just as a crow steals the sacrificial butter. So in the other way, he's saying, in case I try to release my sister from you, I will bring her back to my house, but I will become like a crow stealing the sacrificial butter. Please break the pride of this false warrior, that is me, myself. I am a fool. Who is a fool? Manda, and a cheater. So he's asking Krishna, please break my pride, instead of the other way around. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is another shloka, I think towards the end already. So Rukmi is saying, release this girl before you. You lie on the battlefield, having been killed by me, me hataha, and by my arrows. And the other meaning is, because you are not killed by my arrows, me ahataha. So instead of me hataha, you can make it me ahataha also, because Sanskrit is like that. You sometimes don't pronounce the particular vowel in between when it comes in between. So me hataha may also become understood as me ahataha. Like we know our morning we sing the Guru Ashtakam. So what do we say? Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. So yasya prasada also and yasya prasada. So both are also same. The spelling will be the same, right? Pronunciation is almost the same also. So, but one is yasya prasada and another is yasya aprasada. So like that, me hataha and me ahataha. So do not release this girl. So you are not killed by my arrows. So Krishna is saying that what should I do with this girl? So Rukmi is saying then you can lie down. Saitaha, that means although Rukmi did not say it, the sentence becomes complete if we put the phrase with her on a bed of flowers. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. In fact, Krishna was meant to lie down with Rukmini on a beautiful bed of flowers, but out of shyness, Rukmi, he did not mention it. So this is what is mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So now Rukmini is thinking. Now here we are seeing about how Rukmi is totally angry and his total anger and intolerance, and is vividly demonstrating the destructive nature of his unchecked pride and ego. So what is he doing? He is vowing to confront Krishna and he is vowing to reclaim Rukmini, and he is telling that I'm going to now bring Rukmini back, and illustrating that there is that chaos can arise from personal vendettas. So if you have a personal enmity and you have so much attachment towards your vow, your thoughts that I am right always, my way or highway, I'm always right. So then there will be always chaos, and especially when it leads to conflict with the divine will. So divine will, if you try to conflict with divine will, what will happen? Chaos. So the second point is that Rukmi's limited knowledge of Krishna's true nature. So Rukmi has as the demons are, demoniac nature is of Rukmi, so he is unable to recognize Krishna as a supreme being. So what is it leading to? Is leading to his misguided attempts to challenge him. So Rukmi unnecessarily is challenging Krishna. This theme highlights the vital role of spiritual knowledge and awareness in overcoming ignorance and delusion. So this is the crucial aspect of the text. Then the next point is the divine compassion, where Rukmini's compassion for his brother. Now Rukmini starts to feel very compassionate. She was thinking first, she's thinking, what will people think if they know that my brother was killed before my eyes? She was filled with fear because of this. Not of first, she was not afraid, she was not fearful because of her affection for her brother, but she was thinking, what will people think in front of the sister the brother is killed? Like that. Then the prema of the queens of Dwarka, okay, is called as by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as Samanjasa Prem. That means a very proper kind of love. This love is like very according to the Shastras and according to the very proper, it is dependent on public opinion. What will they think about me? So a lot of that thing is there about you are a princess. Abhiman is there. I'm a princess, and what will people think if like that? However, one should not think that the general characteristic of prema, namely exclusive possessiveness of Vishnu in a loving relationship. So I only want Vishnu as my husband. Like that is lacking in Rukmini. We should not think like that. Since within herself, she's actually had no affection at all for Rukmi. Okay, she had no affection for Rukmi and other demons, but that will be described in the later details. In exclusive possessiveness is also explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We saw that Ananya Mamata Vishnu Mamata Prema Sangata Bhakti Ityuchate Bhishma Prahlado Uddhava Naradehi. So who are saying this? Prahlada, Uddhava, Narada. What they're saying, when one is completely apathetic to all the other objects and has developed an exclusive sense of ownership or possessiveness in relation to Lord Vishnu. Okay, only thinking of Lord Vishnu, no one else as his object of love. My object of love is only Krishna, only Vishnu. Such an awakening is called Prema Bhakti. By whom? By Bhishma Dev, by Prahlad, by Uddhava, by Narada. So this is given in a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So we see how Rukmini is now going to react. So Rukmini said, you possess inconceivably great transcendental opulences. She's telling Krishna, you are possessing unlimited opulences, and while Rukmi, he is most insignificant, right? And those are everybody is controlled by you, but out of those, he's most insignificant. And you are immeasurable, aprameyatma, and he is just like an insect among the limited. And you are the supreme among demigods, Deva Deva, and he is the lowest among human beings because he is inimical towards you. You are the protector of the universe, Jagatpate, and though he is evil because he is within this universe, he is to be protected, right? Because anyway, he is your creation, he is your child also, if you go to see. So therefore, O auspicious one, O Kalyana, O mighty armed one, O Mahabhuja, you should not kill this inauspicious person with no power in his arms. He is so pathetic. So please do not kill him. So this reveals her divine compassion. Rukmini's compassion for her brother is, despite his wickedness, reveals the complexities of familial love. So he is a family, he's a brother. So her fear of public opinion is also reflecting on societal pressures. So what will society say? That can influence one's emotional responses. This is comparison to more profound, unwavering love of the Vrajagopis for Krishna. So Vrajagopis did not care what people will think. You have so many examples. When Krishna played the flute, the middle of the night, the Vrajagopis left their houses, their husbands, everyone, family members, everything, and went into the forest looking for Krishna. They didn't care what society will say. When Narada came to them, begging for their foot dust, saying that Krishna had a headache, immediately the gopis were scraping off the dust from their feet and giving it to Narada Muni. Narada Muni was shocked. He said, "You will go to hell for this." They said, "We don't care. We don't care. We go to hell, we go anywhere. We don't care as long as Krishna is satisfied. Krishna is cured. We don't care what happens to us." So this is the unwavering love. We can only compare, but it is in a different mood. So we cannot say that Rukmini's love was any less, but we can say that it is in a different mood. The mood is different of Aishwarya Bhava. Pride and humiliation, Krishna's actions towards Rukmi serves as a mean to diminish his pride and arrogance. The humiliation that Rukmi faces through the shaving of his hair. So what Krishna did? Krishna, because Rukmini told, "Please be compassionate towards Rukmi, please don't kill him, don't kill him." So even though Rukmi was wicked, and he was going to give Rukmini to Shishupal in the way she she was going to commit suicide. But even then, Rukmini was so much compassionate towards her brother. So Krishna said, Rukmi, he should never come again and do any mischief. So thinking like that, Krishna, he showed his contempt for Rukmi by marking his body with some ugly features. So he let him remember his defeat and dissolved his pride. And Krishna, what he did, he tied him like an animal they tie, the dog and the dog. They tied him by his neck with a strip of cloth. He had some cloth. He tied him like that, one cloth, and he was using his left hand and was holding that cloth in his left hand. And with the right hand, what did Krishna do? He took his sword and then he knocked off some of his, he first of all knocked off his turban, and turban fell off. Then after that, he started shaving off his hair, little bit here, little bit here, and then his beard, little bit here, and leave half of his mustache here, like that, and made him look very comical and very horrible. And at sometimes he would even draw the blood out because he will cut it very deep, so the blood will come out. And with scraps of hair remaining here and there, Rukmi, he looked very disfigured, very horrible he looked. So now, this is how Krishna thought that Krishna's actions towards Rukmi serve as a means to diminish his pride and arrogance. And the humiliation that Rukmi faces through the shaving of his hair and disfigurement is a powerful symbol of divine justice that Krishna did, divine justice, where Krishna restores the balance by punishing Rukmi's problem. And in this, this act is symbolizing the, what does this symbolize? It's symbolizing, the triumph of divine authority. So divine authority can do anything over human arrogance. If you try to show human arrogance towards the Lord, that happens. And a theme that resonates with power of the divine and the face of human pride. Okay, so again, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving us all these wonderful insights. So here, now Balaramji is coming. Wait, before that, Rukmini's plea for Krishna not to kill Rukmi despite his evil nature is a profound demonstration of what? Of layered understanding of compassion. So what are these? So it suggests that even in conflict, one should exercise mercy and restraint. So there is conflict. We don't like our enemy, but we should exercise mercy and restraint. There should be a certain restraint. You shouldn't go all out. And recognizing the inherent value of life. So that means life is valuable, right? So you cannot just destroy it like that. This theme emphasizes the compassionate nature of the divine, which seeks to protect even those who oppose it, and invites the audience to contemplate deep into this virtue. So let's dive deep into this virtue. What is this virtue? Virtue of mercy, virtue of restraint. Even if there is an enemy, even if there's someone is coming to destroy us, we have the power. We have the power to oppose this such a person. But then we should exercise our mercy and restraint. We should not go all out and destroy that person totally, because we should value the life of a person. And then also we should have some kind of compassion. But of course, not total compassion, but because you have total compassion, also it's also a problem. That's why Krishna showed that I'm not going to let him go like that, like how he let go Jarasandha 17 times. That was for another reason, because someone else was destined to kill Jarasandha, not Krishna. That's why Krishna was letting him go all the time. And also that he would come back again, 23 Akshayonis each time, and Krishna can destroy all the bad kings at one go, instead of Krishna going looking for the bad kings. Jarasandha was bringing all the bad kings, so Krishna would destroy them. So here, in the case of Rukmi, Krishna is showing his compassion, and also he's restraining himself from killing Rukmi. In the meantime, he's also disfiguring Rukmi, which is worse than death. So now we say the transcendental opulence versus material insignificance. So who is Krishna? Krishna is transcendental. And who is Rukmi? He is totally material. So Rukmini's comparison of Krishna, just now I told you about how she's comparing Krishna to, he has immeasurable power, and Rukmini's insignificance in front of Krishna. So this is shown as this Krishna is the position as the ultimate protector and the source of opulence, and Rukmini is representing as materiality, pride, and fundamentally he's weak and misguided. Then we see the role of fate and destiny. So what is the role of fate and destiny? So now this passage is hinting at what? At the role of fate. Fate is shaping outcome of our human actions, and while Rukmini's failure is serving as a lesson in humility, and Krishna's control over the circumstances reflecting the belief that the divine will ultimately govern the course of events. So now Krishna, the divine, he is going to now govern the course of events. He is going to decide what's going to happen to Rukmini, regardless of individual efforts to assert control. So each one is trying to, Rukmini is trying to, like an individual, trying to use his efforts, but he cannot assert control. Only Krishna can decide what will happen, how the course of events will go. Now, the next is perception of love. So, like I told about Samanjasarati, proper love about Rukmini, and the Samartharati, a stronger love of the Rajagopis. So it illustrates the different levels of devotion and attachment, and Rukmini's love is shown to be influenced by societal perceptions, whereas Rajagopi's love remains unwavering and direct, and this is the highlight of pure unconditional love in spiritual practice. So we go to the next verse, where key themes of profound significance, let us take from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary. So in here now, this episode is now Balaramji has defeated all the, means Yadava soldiers have crushed the other kings who were Akshayonis after Akshayonis of soldiers and elephants and horses and all, and they were all lying on the battlefield, all strewn here and there, their bodies parts, their thighs were like, it's mentioned that thighs were resembling elephant trunks like that, and they were lying everywhere on the battlefield, and the army had already defeated. Now only Balaramji, only Balaramji is now coming towards Krishna and Rukmini, and he's seeing the plight of Rukmini. What has happened to Rukmini? Oh my God, what has my brother done to him? So now there'll be a lot of philosophy Balaramji talks. He's very mildly reproaching Krishna because he knows what Krishna has done is correct. That's what has to be happened to Rukmini. But in the same time, Rukmini is just married and she's a young bride, and how can she take all this, her brother being so disrespected and totally humiliated, how can she take it? So he is like talking to Krishna, talking to Rukmini, trying to convince Krishna, trying to convince Rukmini. So let's see this beautiful episode. So compassion and forgiveness, and Balramji's compassion for Rukmini, despite his enmity, reflects a profound understanding of mercy and forgiveness. So now Balramji is trying to forgive Rukmini. So this theme underscores the intricate nature of relationships, emphasizing that even those who act wickedly can evoke compassion, particularly from family members. How? Because now he has become his family brother-in-law, isn't it? Krishna's brother-in-law. So now how can you treat a brother-in-law like this? Become a family already. So Balaram's gentle approach of Krishna, his reproaching gently, serves to highlight the importance of compassion resolving conflicts. So Balaramji said, "What is this, Krishna? What have you done like this?" First he came, and out of compassion, he took out the cloth that Krishna was holding in his left hand, and he released Rukmini from the noose. So he was tied, like an animal. So he just removed that, and he said, "What is this, Krishna? What are you doing? This is not fair. Death itself would have been more proper than shaving him with your sword, which has made his face look so ghastly. What is this?" He gently reproached Krishna in order to console the lamenting Rukmini, because Rukmini was lamenting. She didn't know what to do. She was crying, and internally, however, Balram was thinking, Very clever, most clever brother. What you have done is the most proper thing, and you acted quite rightly. Inside he's thinking like that, but outside he's like, what is this, Krishna? I should not have done like this. So thus expressing satisfaction, Balramji is speaking this verse. Though Rukmi is factually a Duhrit, right? Duhrit means enemy. He's an enemy. He's not a friend. But in this verse, Balramji is sarcastically calling him Suhrit. That means you are sarcasm, which means a well-wisher or a friend in a brother-in-law. Because now he's a brother-in-law, so he's just saying Suhrit. Actually, you should be Suhrit, but you are not. It is sarcasm. So to dispel Rukmini's sadness, what is Balaram doing? Balaram is reasoning with her. He's saying everyone must enjoy or suffer the results of his actions, isn't it? What is this useless affection, Rukmini, for this most wicked person who acts against your own husband? So he's telling Rukmini, why you're saying like, why you're feeling for this useless fellow? He is so wicked. He's against your husband. Now Balramji is telling Rukmini who is now her thing has changed. Now she has become wife of Krishna. So now Krishna is her husband. So she should think more about position of her husband now. And understanding the distinction between relative and absolute truth. So there's a dialogue between Balram and Rukmini highlights the distinction between relative relationships. Okay, so absolute relationship and a temporary relationship. So relative and absolute. So Balaramji's assertion that family ties do not exempt one from moral scrutiny, that means, okay, you are my brother, you are my brother-in-law. It does not exempt you from morals. We can do whatever you want. No, cannot. So this showcases the philosophical perspective that actions must be evaluated based on their alignment with dharma, not because you are emotionally attached to that person. Then you can evaluate based on that. No, you can evaluate only based on dharma, righteousness. So Balramji is saying again, but in order to satisfy Rukmini, Balramji is instructing Krishna in morality. He's saying a relative should not be killed by a relative, and a brother-in-law should not be killed by a sister's husband. So this is moral codes. So Balramji speaks like that, Rukmini. Rukmini is thinking, see, right? Brother should not kill the brother-in-law. Brother-in-law should not be killed by the sister's husband. So but your younger brother, that is Krishna, he does not know this rule. How come he does not know that? That is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Rukmini is thinking like that in her mind. Then Balramji is mildly scolding her. He's saying, the scriptures order that one should even kill one's own brother. What to speak of brother-in-law, who is so vile. Vile means who is so wicked, who is so bad. So even a brother should be killed. What to speak of brother-in-law? So Balramji is pacifying Rukmini also, and he's also telling Krishna also about moral codes. So it's very beautiful, this exchange. But Rukmini is thinking to herself, a Kshatriya may have to kill his relative, but he should not disfigure him in such a ghastly way. So to satisfy her, Balramji is then speaking to Krishna. He is saying, oh Krishna, proud fellows abuse others in order to get land, money, and power. We should not do like that. Right? We should not do like that, he's telling. But this rule is for situations other than war. But in war, however, the rule is that enemy should be defeated and made insignificant. The enemy should become totally destroyed. Destroy him totally. That's what we should do. Guessing that this was Krishna's internal thought, Balram then spoke this verse to Rukmini. What he said, the good done by Krishna to your own well-wishers and family members, such as Rukmi, namely shaving his hair, that you think is bad, you think is unfair. It is unfair attitude on your part. But this is very unfair it is very unfair attitude on your part, because this is biased attitude. You are biased, Rukmini. You are very wise person. How can you be biased like that? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, I know quite well that my brother is evil. Okay, Rukmini is saying, I know very well that my brother Rukmi, he is evil. But still, I have some attachment, isn't it? He's my relative, isn't it? He's my brother, isn't it? What can I do? So if Rukmini thinks like that, Balramji is answering. What is saying? He's saying, certainly for an elevated person like you are a Lakshmi, your goddess of fortune. For you, like you, such bad judgment is not proper. You cannot judge like that. But for worldly people, yes, it's a natural tendency for them. But for you, for those who think that their bodies are themselves, for them, that's okay. That's a bewilderment. But you are in knowledge. You cannot think like that. So Balramji is saying in that way. So here in the third point, it says the moral dilemmas in warfare. The discussions of ethics of killing in battle reflect the complexities of dharma in the context of a war. So Balramji's reasoning, what is he saying? Underscores the necessity of discernment in moral decision making, highlighting that in warfare, rules of engagement differ from those of peaceful circumstances. So if everything is peaceful, then there is a different set of rules. But when there is a war going on, the total different set of rules. So that is what Balramji is saying. So we'll take a break here.
Click the button start.
Yeah, I tried start. So I don't know. I think because
you're using my PPTX, right? Not the
I'm
PDF.
the PPT only, yes. But I think because I did not use that edit means it asked me whether I should put it in the edit mode or in the read only mode.
Okay,
Don't worry. Read only mode. Anyway, it's only 3 minutes. I can check 3 minutes on my watch.
It's okay. Yeah. You don't have to, you can continue also. What?
Can I continue or?
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. Thank you.
Prabhuji, did you send this PowerPoints? I didn't receive that.
Now I share both PPTX and the PDF version to everyone,
Okay, I'll check that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So Mataji, continue.
Okay.
In the discussion, we'll talk about the Aswathama case also, very similar, right?
Prabhuji, even Jayadratha.
Yeah.
Bhima did.
Yeah, we will talk about this thing in the discussion, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let Mataji finish the our presentation.
So, in the two verses, Balramji is refuting the misconception of those who think that body is hell. Now, the whole thing is going to happen about philosophical reflections. Attachment and illusion, Rukmini is in an internal conflict. She's regarding, as just now we saw, how she's thinking of her brother's fate, what will happen to him and all this, and how it can cloud the judgment. Then Balramji is explaining to her that you have to regard the nature of the soul, and you are a very wise person. You cannot be like this. And the soul and the body, they serve to dismantle the illusion that the body is the self. So we should not think like that. You are very, very wise, and you should not be thinking like that, pointing to the deeper understanding of the identity that transcends physical relationships. So he's your brother. That's a physical relationship. But you should not be in that illusion. So then begins the philosophical reflection on the self. Now Balramji is going deeper and deeper into the how the body and the soul, how they are totally different. So in this paragraphs, it is delving into the nature of the jiva, the soul, and its relationship with the body. So Balramji's insights reveal that the soul is fundamentally distinct from the body. Material body, soul are different, which is temporary, and material body is temporary and is subject to cycles of birth and death, whereas the soul is eternal. And this philosophical perspective invites us, readers, to reflect on the nature of the existence and importance of realizing one's true self beyond physical identification. So we are body, we are woman, man, we are Brahmana, Kshatriya, whatever. And all these things are physical identifications, and we should come out of this, and we should understand and reflect on the nature of our existence as a soul. So Balramji is saying that first he states that this body is not the soul, neither it is the super soul. And then the supreme soul is certainly the only mover of the embodied souls. So we are souls, okay, we are souls, but there is who is moving us? Moving us is the supreme soul, the super soul. So two examples are given to show that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is talking about the fire within the wood and the ether within a pot. So how Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.32 first canto is giving a similar analogy concerning fire and the wood. Yatha hyavahito vahnir darushveka swayonishu nane swabhati vishwatma bhuteshu cha tatha puman. Translation: the Lord as a super soul pervades in all things, just as fire permeates the wood. And so he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. So this one we see in many places. We also see in the Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami, who is talking about the same point about the Paramatma in each and every body, which in the Jivas, and each and every body has got a different shape, and Paramatma is in the different bodies in the different shape. Doesn't mean that he is different in different bodies. He is the same Paramatma. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that in this verse, Balaram also explains that the body is not the soul. And the body which he's saying to Rukmini, this body which you think that is to be protected because he is a brother, he's a relative, or is to be killed because he's an enemy, consists of what? Three aspects: physical elements, dravyadibhuta, and the senses, prana, adhyatma, and then the modes of nature. Gunadhitvaitam. That means it is produced for the soul. Atmani Jiva. So because the soul wants all these things are given to the soul by Maya. What are the things? Physical elements, senses, and the nodes of nature around it. Okay. So it is produced for the soul, for the sake of the soul. And by ignorance makes the soul rotate, because now ignorance, false ego is thinking, soul is thinking, I am this matter, I am this physical elements, I am this senses, I am this body. So because of this, the soul is rotating in the cycle of birth and death under the control of attraction and repulsion. So this is what philosophical reflection about the jivas Balaramji is talking. Balaramji's analogy is comparing the soul experience to a dream, conveys the idea that the material existence is illusory and transient. This theme emphasizes that perceived sufferings and joy in life are not absolute truths, but rather experiences shaped by ignorance and attachment. So what is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying? Because Balaramji is calling Rukmini Devi, oh, intelligent lady. Then he's explaining, soul never undergoes contact with or separation from insubstantial material objects. So he's telling, because the soul is tainted by contact with the body, and the body appears to be the self, the false ego. False ego is thinking that I am this body, right? So actually, however, there is never such any contact of the soul with the body, right? Now we are thinking that because we are thinking we are this body, there is a contact. But the moment Vidya comes, because this is avidya, when Vidya comes in the picture, immediately there will be no contact with the body and the soul, which is impermanent, having a beginning and an end. But because there is no contact, there is no separation, right? But we think now we are going to leave the body and go. Why? Because we think that we are connected with the body. Actually, we are not. How does this take place? Okay. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining the soul is the cause of matter assembling itself into a material body. So matter, that means elements, mind, body, intelligence is a subtle body, then gross body, all the elements come together, make a gross body, then the senses, then all the sense objects. So all these things come together. Why? Because of the soul. The soul is the cause. Soul desires. So the soul is the cause of all this matter being assembling into a material body. Although the soul, the Jivatma, manifests this material body. Manifest means because of his desires, manifested for his sake. It is not contaminated by it. Jivatma is always pure, always Shuddha. Is covered by all these things, all the Maya, subtle body, gross body, everything, senses, everything is covered, but it is still pure. Jivatma is always pure. Okay? It is always pure. It cannot be contaminated. Then how can the producer be contaminated? How can Krishna be contaminated? If we as a Jiva, we cannot be contaminated, how can the super soul be contaminated? By which it is manifesting. So this explanation is given then in regard to the super soul Paramatma, and the Paramatma has no contact with the individual or his permanent body, because the Paramatma is the source of the Jiva and his body, and by his very nature as God. Therefore, Paramatma is never contaminated by either the Jiva or the body manifested from him. So, cultivating composure and joy. We'll see the call for Rukmini to regain her composure and smile. Now, Balramji is telling, come on, give up all this morose face. You are a bride. You must smile now. So he's suggesting that she should compose herself and she should balance her emotional state. And it's essential for even spiritual well-being also. You cannot be morose and become Krishna conscious, right? You have to be balanced in your emotions. This reflects the idea that societal opinions or fleeting emotions should not overly influence one, but rather embrace a more profound sense of peace and joy that arises from spiritual understanding. So always immerse ourselves, absorb ourselves in Krishna consciousness, so that anything surrounding us becomes very secondary and we don't give so much. It doesn't overly influence us. Thus, we should embrace only our spiritual understanding. Then the role of societal expectations, and Rukmini's concern about public perception highlights the impact of societal norms and expectations on individual behavior. So our behavior always will be what will people think, what somebody is thinking. So Balaram's encouragement to arise above such concern. Come on, Rukmini, you are a wonderful person. You are beyond the three modes. How can you be? You must, so encouraging her to rise above these concerns and resonate with the philosophical teachings that true fulfillment comes from inner realization rather than external validation. So don't think he's your brother, this happened. So please, then in the conclusion about this particular passage, this passage serves as a profound exploration of compassion, moral dilemmas, the nature of the self, and the importance of maintaining composure in the face of adversity. It encourages readers to reflect on the more profound spiritual truths that transcend emotional attachments. So we have to think like that. We have to transcend our emotional attachments and societal expectations, ultimately guiding them towards a more profound understanding of existence and the divine. So here we close with this conclusion and go to the next part of the theme. Here we are going to see the consequences of actions. What Rukmi's insult and humiliation by Yadu soldiers serve as a stark reminder that one's actions have profound consequences. His ill-fated vow to give Rukmini to Shishupal led to his downfall and loss of respect. This narrative underscores the gravity of our choices, which can either lead to honor or disgrace. So this is what Rukmi's insult. Now Rukmi had, when all the kings were being defeated, Rukmi made a big vow. He said, I'm going to bring back Rukmini and marry her back to Shishupal. And he said, I will not come back unless I kill Krishna. So who asked him to make such kind of vows? So his ill-fated vow was that to give Rukmini to Shishupal, and that caused all his disgrace. So we have to be very grave when we make our choices. We cannot just anyhow emotionally make some statements and hurt other people, or even make ourselves disgraceful. we have to be very careful when we make statements, vows, okay, and our choices. Then the nature of suffering, the naming of Rukmi's city, Bhojakata. Now, Bhojakata, we have come to the end of this Rukmi's episode. I don't know whether we have time to do better not. Better complete here. Okay, Rukmi, what happened? He said, because he had said, I will never return to Kundina. So what he did, where Krishna disfigured him, there itself he stayed. He said, I will not go from here. I will stay here. And he created one large city constructed, because he was anyway the prince of. So he created a large city there, and he named that city Bhojakata. Bhojakata, according to some dictionary, so the word bhoja means experience, and the word kataha means vow. So thus Bhojakata is the place where Rukmi experienced misery as a result of his vow to offer Rukmini to Shishupal. So that is why he called it Bhojakata, to remember that how much miserable I was just because of my vow. So he named it that, so that the place of suffering due to misguided vow. So this illustrates the concept that when we act against our true interests or values, we may ultimately experience pain and regret. It serves as a reminder to choose our commitments wisely. So now there's going to be celebration of love. So jubilant celebration is going to happen. Krishna and Rukmini are going to get married, and it's going to radiate beauty and love and devotion. And the Dwarkavasis, their exclusive love for Krishna is a testament to the selfless and devoted nature of true love. By celebrating such love, communities can be brought together in a warm embrace of shared affection. So this is what we are going to see now. So what is going to happen now? Krishna has already defeated everyone, and now Krishna is back in Dwarka with his beautiful bride. So everyone knows Krishna is coming. Can you imagine? In Dwarka, this is going to happen. This is the first wedding of Krishna. The first time Krishna is getting married. Of course, nobody knew that he's going to marry 16,108 princesses all. But at that time, he was young and he was beautiful and he was going to get married to the most beautiful girl, and this is the first marriage. So you can imagine how excited the Dwarkavasis were, and their whole life and soul was Krishna. So the auspiciousness and blessings were pouring in, and the detailed description of the wedding decorations like flower garlands, precious gems, auspicious items. What do they convey? They convey the significance of creating a positive and joyful environment for important events, and it highlights the belief that auspiciousness attracts blessings, which is vital for happiness. It's very important that auspiciousness must be there. If auspiciousness is there, sattva guna is maintained, then blessings are attracted. So we'll get blessings. So there were tall flagpoles erected in the city. The flagpoles were so high, it appeared that they were like columns, unending columns, and they were called Indraketubir. Why were they called Indraketubir? Because those columns, those banners attached to those columns, they were reaching so high, they were reaching up to look like as if they were reaching the heavens itself. So it was reaching like Indra's palace, like that. So Indraketubir they were called. Like that, beautifully decorated was Dwarka. So then unity and community. So now the kings of so many various kings of Dwarka, means Dwarka, of course, was friendly with so many, even the Yadus, and the Yadus were friendly with so many other kings, right? From the various families, they all joined together. They all came. They were all meeting with so much happiness. And the Bhojas and all this Yadavas and all were meeting each other very happily. From various clans they had come. Wedding was a powerful symbol of unity and cooperation. So wedding is always like that. It's always meeting of different families, and it's very important. And it's a collective celebration. And it's the importance of coming together in joyful moments and they're always fostering of bonds and friendships, and it's transcending the rivalries, and the strength lies in unity. So now, glorification of the divine. Songs were there celebrating Rukmini's abduction and Krishna's marriage. Then these songs were revealing the importance of storytelling and glorifying divine actions. And these stories are not only entertaining, but they also reinforce the faith and devotion. So reminding people of Krishna's greatness and compassion. So we come to the final slide here today. A divine opulence and fortune. So Krishna is referred to as a lord of all opulence, and Rukmini is who? Lakshmi Devi herself, goddess of fortune. So their coming together, their union symbolizes the idea that the divine love brings abundance and prosperity. So this serves as a metaphor for the blessings that coming from aligning ourselves with divine principles, which are fundamental truths and values that guide the actions and belief of the divine beings in Hindu mythology. So a joy in spirituality. The overall atmosphere of joy and celebration highlights the idea that spiritual connections such as bond between Krishna and his devotees and love lead to true happiness. So enthusiasm of the people is reflecting the joy that comes out from witnessing and participating in divine love is a central theme in Hindu religion or theology. So finally, the conclusion is the final theme teaches us about the importance of our choices, the beauty of love and community, the significance of celebrating auspicious occasions, and the joy that comes from spiritual connections. It encourages us to act thoughtfully and to embrace love and unity in our lives. So finally, we conclude this chapter by glorifying Krishna and Rukmini in their wonderful marriage in the union. Krishna Rukmini ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, dear devotees.
Wonderful, Mataji. Wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You are really a original. I cannot come up with words to glorify you.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Please, don't glorify me. This is Srila Prabhupada and all your blessings. Thank you, all devotees, for your blessings. Thank you, Charu Prabhu.
You have a natural talent, So much to learn from you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very true, Prabhuji. So wonderful class, Mataji. Really, we can image कर सकते हैं कि अभी ये होगा, अभी ये होने वाला है, अभी ऐसा होगा. So really, it is true a wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's
Thank
like
you, Mataji. Very
it's
nice
like so
explanation.
natural for you, Mataji. Achha Mataji. It's so natural. You don't need to put so much effort. It's a blessing of divine couple.
It's a God-given gift,
This is live class. Like
it's Krishna's gift to her.
You're a great storyteller. Shall I tell you one positive thing? I think I already told you. Okay, everybody should have this. Okay, the way you change your tone. Okay, that's a great skill. Okay, naturally you got that. Okay, you emphasize on certain words. Okay, you stress certain words. Itself brings the importance. Okay, in the entire story. Most of the times, most of the speakers, okay, speak flat. Okay, but you don't speak flat. Okay, that itself is a great skill.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Wonderful and very kind words, all of you. Thank you very much. I don't know whether I deserve it. Far, far from perfection, far, far away. But all your kind words, I'll take it as a blessing and offer it to my spiritual master. Thank you very much.
Also, you relish while speaking Krishna Katha. Okay, that itself is a great thing, as everybody says. One thing, I have one question, Mataji.
Yes.
It's like at some point, I don't know, maybe it must be my mistake. Is that like Krishna or somebody, Krishna only told, or somebody, you don't need to have any affection towards Rukmi or something like that. But like could not connect that very well. But still, Rukmi is Rukmini's own brother.
Yes. This Balaramji said, Prabhu. Balaramji said to Rukmini, you should not have, because he was trying to bring her out of that feeling of brother and sister. She's saying brother and sister is for normal people. You are not a normal person. You are the supreme goddess. You are married to the supreme lord. So please remember this, and you come out of your this feelings of normal people, which they feel that this is my brother, this is my sister.
So Rukmini also know that she is divine, Mahalakshmi.
Yes.
See, here, Prasad Prabhu, in whole this thing, entire pastimes, you have to learn, you have to understand that Krishna, Balramji, they are of course divinities personified, right? And they are omniscient, omnipotent. Nonetheless, they are playing a human role here. And Yogamaya, as you know, Yogamaya, by Krishna's own desire, Icha Shakti, bewilders spiritually also, even the Supreme Lord himself, so that he can participate in those rasas, So here he's playing a two opposite kind of things, On one hand, when there is a needed, the divinity, for the sake of his devotees, he will use it. But the turning around, when there's a human reaction, human emotions are involved, they perfectly reciprocate that also, And listen, despite all this thing we are hearing, Balramji's teachings, and it's so wonderful teachings actually. So many instructive points are there. But later on, we are going to learn Rukmi is going to be killed by Balramji himself in a game of dice, actually.
Oh, is it? Okay. Rukmini is being killed by Balram. Okay.
Balramji is going to kill him now, and that also on the occasion of marriage ceremony of Aniruddha. Aniruddha is getting married to Rukmi's daughter, actually,
Oh,
so
okay.
those issues we'll discuss later on. But you see some parallels here. Remember the Ashwatthama's case? What happened? You all remember, right? The story of Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama had killed the 5 sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping, which is a Kshatriya should never do that, which he did horrible things. So when Arjuna and Bhim, they caught him, he ran away and caught him, and then the issue came how to punish him. And there are two schools. Yudhishthira Maharaj on the other side, Dharma side, Draupadi, all the others, the Bhima is completely on opposite side. So Arjuna was in a dilemma, what to do. So even Krishna tried to bewilder him, but indirectly sent a message to Arjuna that a Kshatriya, worse than death, is this being insulted like that, It's worse than death. You don't need to kill him, but if you do this punishment like that, exactly what Krishna did to Rukmi was actually, and that's what Arjuna did there actually. He took away his money, the jewel from his forehead, which is embedded in Ashwatthama, and taken away from him, and then disfigured him, all these things. So very similar story is there. And I think the Jayadratha story, all this thing is also there. When there is a needed, Krishna plays his divinity. Remember, in Jayadratha's time, Arjuna take a vow that I'm going to kill him before sunset. And Krishna created an artificial sunset situation. He brought the cloud, so everybody thought the evening has happened. So Jayadratha thought he's now safe to come out of his hiding. They were protecting him, and that's when Arjuna killed him, right? So all these things you have to understand in its right perspective. Okay, so many instructive points are there for us to learn here, and never take a quick decision, important decision when you are emotionally disturbed, and it applies to me also. And I'm the first one to admit when you are in deep emotions, the rationality doesn't come to us, and there's the worst time to make an important decision. Never make a decision like that when your mind is disturbed. Emotions it's a two-edged sword. With emotions you serve Krishna, right? But that emotion also has to be properly balanced with what we need to utilize in a rational thinking. Hare Krishna. So, Sharad Prabhuji,
thank you very much, Prabhu. Yeah, wonderful insights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
So
Prabhu.
let's first take the question answer tag, and then Sharad Prabhuji is probably going to say something more about all these things,
Any other question on this class?
And I have some remarks to make about this recap session. Some hopefully some good instructions also, still only very handful of the people are really participating. Rest of you are just sitting quiet. I'm trying my level best to encourage all of you to participate, Go ahead, continue. Are there any questions, comments, please?
Okay, if there are no questions, you can think of the questions. I want to say something on these matters which we have already discussed. First thing about Rukmi. Rukmi was not an ordinary soldier or ordinary person. Rukmi was he was a scholar of the Vedas. And remember, he received the celestial weapon from Druma, the king of Kimpurusa. In Kimpurusa Varsa, where Lord Hanuman stayed, we are talking of that. And he also received the Brahmastra from Jamadagni's son Parsurama. Like this, he was proficient in all the arms, including Brahmastra, to fight with Krishna. But as we know, nobody can fight with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then we are talking about Aswasthama's case, and similarly, here the case why Balrama did not, why Balrama assisted in not killing Rukmini. Now, here are certain things to be kept in mind. We have to keep in mind the dharma also and compassion also. They have to be balanced. Now, it is a very complex matter, and this decision making has to be kept in mind, where legalistic justice must be balanced with compassion and mercy. Now, here in this case of Aswatthama, certain things they arise. One is the multidimensional nature of dharma. Dharma is not a one-dimensional concept at all. It requires careful consideration of the circumstances, the intentions, and broader implications of the actions, and the broader implications of the punishment also. And Krishna's guidance exemplifies the need for a deeper understanding of dharma, which often transcends literal interpretations of scriptures. I'll just give you a personal example also. Like, I was in the army and we had vast legal powers to punish people. It was unlimited. You can do anything and everything, and it never required any elaborate investigation like this. And also, I, in my service time, with the powers of a sessions judge, I have also tried murder cases. But remember, the powers may be with you, but to pronounce the sentence, it is a very, very difficult thing to do. Like, I must tell you, when I was conducting this trial of 3 murder cases, I could not sleep at night before I pronounced the judgment the next day. So you have to see these two things. what is dharma, what is you are required to do as per the rules and regulations, and what is to be done as per the circumstances and intentions of the person who has committed this, and the broader implications of all this. Then the next thing is the role of compassion in justice. Now, Draupadi's plea for Ashwatthama's life, it indicates the principle that true justice should be tempered with compassion. Even in the face of personal loss, the ideal devotee maintains a compassionate heart under all circumstances. And this is what Draupadi saw. Rather, we saw in Draupadi. Then the next point is the supreme position of the supreme personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna is a guide, and throughout this story, Krishna's role as the supreme guide and teacher is very, very evident. His instructions, though seemingly contradictory, they were designed to elevate Arjuna's consciousness and understanding of Dharma. And Krishna's guidance is not just about adhering to rules, but also cultivating a heart that is aligned with the divine will of Lord Krishna. Then the next point in this is the humility as the ultimate punishment. Now the removal of Ashwatthama's jewel symbolizes the stripping away of false pride. In the Vaishnava tradition, humility is considered a virtue, while pride is seen as a barrier to spiritual progress. And Ashwatthama's punishment, therefore, serves as a lesson in the consequences of unchecked ego and adharmic actions. Now, this story serves as a timeless lesson in balancing justice with compassion, understanding dharma beyond literal interpretations, and following the guidance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always acts for the highest good. And true dharma is not just about rules, but also aligning our hearts and actions with the will of the Supreme, guided by compassion and humility. And as you have seen in the Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, in the first chapter, Arjuna says, I will not fight, and he gives so many reasons, and then Krishna, he gave his reasons why he should fight. And finally, Arjuna accepted. That means we have to be aligned with what the Supreme Lord says, instructs us, and what he has given in all the scriptures. This is to be kept in mind. We should not just hold the law or the legal books and take a decision just like that. That's why, like whatever we may say, but all the judges who are sitting in the chair and trying the cases, these are very, very difficult things they are doing. And they are aligning dharma, the legal provisions, and humility and compassion and mercy also. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. I have finished.
Any more questions, comments before I say something about the recapping? Are there any more questions, comments? No? Okay. So I have to say a few things, okay? And take it with a grain of salt and understand why I'm saying that, okay? बहन जी आप है वहाँ बहन जी राजकुमारी
जी भाई जी हाँ
मैं आपको फिर से मैं ये कह रहा हूँ अब बुरा मत मानिएगा ओके नहीं ये जो स्पॉन्टेनिटी जो बोलने की है क्लैरिटी it comes with clarity in the thinking, in the right, your thinking itself. Thinking has to be clarified before you speak, then come rationally what you want to say. Otherwise, what will happen? You are confused. You are going to confuse to the person you are talking to, like that, and things don't get communicated effectively. So you need to compose your thinking before you speak. And that has to be practiced before this open public discussion takes place. When you read, when you study, try to think and formulate in your mind. Your thinking has to be the clarity should be there in the mind. When thinking, clarity of thinking is there, when you speak, it will come out nicely, automatically. See, there are gifted speakers, but you don't need, this can be learned. It's a skill. Everybody can learn it. And with practice, it will happen, So try practicing Benji. अपने आप को जब पढ़ रही हैं तो think about it, digest it, mentally digest it. Okay, what I'm trying to say.
You are correct, Bhai. You are correct.
Naturally to you, because you are not able to speak with clarity.
Yes. You are true.
And your loss of words, and remember the time is wasted.
Yes.
Like that, And on one hand, I admire you're always very, very enthusiastic to participate. And I love that. Really, believe me, I love it very much. And you made tremendous progress in such a short period of time. But from now onwards, if you want to make progress, think about it, what I'm trying to tell you that, okay?
Yes.
Mentally compose yourself before you, participate in these kind of things, okay? I have a couple of words to say to Radha Vinod Prabhuji. Is he there?
No, he is not there. He is locked
out. Oh, he left?
Yes.
Okay, then when he's there, I'll speak to him. Okay. So every one of you developed a skill how to mentally think. Okay. Practice yourself. Mental clarity is the most important. Then the writing, clarity in the writing will come, clarity in the public speaking will come, and to communication skill will develop automatically. Things will come naturally to you. See, Archana Mataji, we all know she is a very gifted speaker. To her, it comes very naturally. Okay?
Yes.
But I'm sure in her case also, at the beginning phase, we all go through this stage. I also went through this stage. When I was in a graduate school, I was not a good speaker at all. It took a while for me to develop that because I was frustrated within myself. And then I made special efforts like that. And then years of experience, that also played a role, okay? So nothing is going to come overnight, but you need to begin some point somewhere.
Yes.
Right? So don't feel bad, okay? I mean good for every one of you. My job is to try to train you. And whatever I learned, I spent many years. But if you learn from somebody else's experience, you will develop much quicker. You won't have to spend that many years that I spent,
Yes.
All right. So with that, I think anymore.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for so wonderful guidance, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Very
keep
welcome.
in mind, Prabhuji.
And but think it in the right perspective, okay? Because I don't want to insult anyone. I don't want to really hurt anyone's feelings.
No. It is very
true. My job is to train you guys.
It is very true.
पहले आप mentally सोचने try कीजिए, okay? Before you come to class, you think about it mentally. Everything should be crystal clear in your mind. Unless it is crystal clear in your mind, you'll not be able to explain yourself. And you'll not be able to explain yourself. How do you expect to explain to others?
Yes.
It's very difficult.
Yes, very true. Very true.
And person who is doing recap, Radha Vinod Prabhu, is a great person, he has some natural talents also. But unfortunately, when he's there, I'll better we speak when he's there, So, but for all of you also, those who are taking recapping, conducting the recapping, it is you don't need to speak that many words really. In a very few words, you can say a lot of things. Sometimes आंखों से बात हो सकती है. Okay. With just eyes, you can speak. What to speak about the words, you know. So use your words in a careful way, and so many things. So you can save time. Time is the critical element. Hare Krishna.
Oh, yeah, I'll just add one thing about Rukmini I forgot to tell. You would be knowing that where Rukmini studied and learnt all the Shastras and his education, his father, Damagosa, had left him with Jarasandha. Throughout his life, he lived with Jarasandha and he learnt all these
His
things.
father was not Dhamaghosh. His father was Bhishmaka.
Sorry, Bhishmaka. Yes.
Shishupal was his son,
Yes. Rukmi, he did his training with Jarasandha. Then another thing, Prabhuji, now today we had lesson 91, tomorrow 92. Next weekend onwards, my classes, but in the schedule you have written 22, I think that is the day 2 of
okay, I'll correct it. I'll check it out, you know. But
yes.
I'm already working for your lessons also, you know.
Yes, you have already sent 93 to 95.
Yeah, but I'm working on 94, 95, 96. That stories I'm working on that. Okay.
Till 99.
Yeah, hopefully by the next couple of days you'll have that too also, you know.
Yes, but there is enough time, Prabhuji, not to hurry up actually.
प्रभु जी
Thank you
लेसन
very much.
91 92 के ईमेल नहीं मिले हैं प्रभु जी हमें.
ये कमाल की बात है कि when I address with the advanced Bhagavatam, it should be, everybody should be receiving, but now I'm noticing my sister is also complaining that she's not receiving mails, you know. So
Yes,
what's
Prabhu.
going on is Prasad.
I got it
Prabhu
today.
had sent it long
I
time
received
back.
today.
Yeah, but I sent you then. When I send by our advanced Bhagavatam, everybody should be receiving that. Why people are not receiving? I don't understand. Sanjeev Prabhu need to find out the reason
Sanjeev
why.
Prabhu is not here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not here. So, Sharad Prabhuji, can you do me a favor and find out why?
Yes.
Why people are not receiving my PowerPoints, you know?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This PowerPoint, I just get it from the central place, Prabhu. It is not there in my mailbox.
Before I never had a problem, but nowadays I noticed that many of you are not able to receive my PowerPoints. And I send through the advanced Bhagavatam, that link, you know. Sharad Prabhuji, please examine it, okay?
Yes, I was not receiving. Yeah, I was not getting mails.
I have no idea because everybody
It was
is a
sent on
bona fide
8th
member.
June.
All members should be receiving it, you know.
This was sent on 8th June. Please check your email.
Yes.
Harsha, check your email. Sometimes it might be.
Yeah, I got today, but I received today.
In a spam folder, spam.
Yeah, I found today.
Okay, all right. Okay. So let's conclude the class with
Prabhuji, before we conclude, can we give about 5 minutes to Raksha Mataji? She had gone to the Purushottam Khetra.
Oh, sure. Raksha Mataji?
Sure, प्रभु जी.
Yeah,
हाँ
please go
प्रभु
ahead.
जी.
Yeah,
लास्ट वीक हम गए थे जगन्नाथपुरी यात्रा में, तो बहुत अच्छे दर्शन हुए हैं हमें. जिस दिन गए थे वहां पे एकादशी उनका 5 तारीख को था और 6 तारीख को उनकी महाद्वादशी थी, और उसी दिन रुक्मणी विवाह का लीला होने वाला था टेम्पल में. तो वी आर सो ब्लेस्ड कि हम लोग को महाप्रसाद भी मिला और ये लीला का भी दर्शन हुआ, मगर बहुत भीड़ थी, टू मच रश. और फिर हम लोग बहुत अच्छी जगह पे गए, गंभीरा, यहाँ पे चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने इतने साल, लास्ट में जितने साल अपने एसोसिएट के साथ बिताए थे, स्वरूप दामोदर जी और गोविंद जी के साथ। फिर हम सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य के घर पे गए थे। फिर सिद्ध बकुल भी गए थे, बहुत अच्छी हरिदास ठाकुर की भजन कुटीर। तो एक दिन हम लोग ने ये सब किया। फिर हम रेमुना गए थे प्रभु जी। दैट वाज सो वंडरफुल प्लेस। क्षीरचोर गोपीनाथ जी के दर्शन किए। और वहां पे सब हमारे कितने आचार्यों के हैं। श्रीधर स्वामी जी जो हमारे फर्स्ट कमेंट्रेटर है श्रीमद् भागवतम के, उनका बर्थ प्लेस है वो। फिर बलदेव विद्याभूषण जी का भी बर्थ प्लेस है। फिर एक बहुत महान भक्त हुए कि रसिका पंडित जी, उनकी समाधि भी थी वहां पे। फिर चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी के फुटप्रिंट्स थे वहां पे। और माधवेंद्रपुर की समाधि भी है रेमुना में।
वो साक्षी गोपाल जगह पर गए थे आप?
हाँ, यस, उनके बारे में बताती हूँ। मतलब इतने सारे आचार्यों के समाधियों के दर्शन हुए हमें वहां पे। और बर्थ प्लेस मतलब कितना अच्छा लगे। तभी जब हम लोग ने सुना कि श्रीधर स्वामी जी का बर्थ प्लेस है, तो इतना अच्छा लगा कि हमारे भागवतम हम लोग कितने याद करते हैं, हर रोज उनके बारे में भी बोलते हैं कि ये इनके। तो इट इज रियली सो नाइस एक्सपीरियंस। फिर गोपीनाथ जी के दर्शन तो इतने अच्छे। फिर हम लोग सब लोग ने वो खीर भी खाई। छोटी एकादशी का डे था, हम लोग गए थे तभी। फिर यमुना इस्कॉन में भी हम सबने प्रसाद पाया। फिर हम लोग गए थे दूसरे दिन साक्षी गोपाल, साक्षी अलारनाथ गए थे। हाँ, साक्षी गोपाल भी बहुत अच्छी प्लेस थी। वहां भी एक कमाल ट्री है प्रभु जी। वहां पे हम सब बैठे और वहां की कथा सुनी पूरी साक्षी गोपाल की। फिर हम लोग गए अलारनाथ। अलारनाथ में जब भी जगन्नाथपुरी के दर्शन स्नान यात्रा के बाद बंद हो जाते हैं, तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु हमेशा अलारनाथ जाते हैं दर्शन के लिए, क्योंकि अभी वो सेपरेशन को सहन नहीं कर सकते चैतन्य महाप्रभु। उनको हर रोज दर्शन चाहिए ही चाहिए। तो फर्स्ट टाइम जब जगन्नाथपुरी में ऐसा हुआ कि दर्शन बंद हो गए, तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु तो बहुत ही डिप्रेस हो गए और वो सुसाइड करने जा रहे थे समुद्र में कि मैं अभी उनके दर्शन के बिना नहीं रह सकता, तो इतने दिनों तक मैं क्या करूंगा। तो फिर आकाशवाणी हुई कि भाई मैं यहाँ पे आपको दर्शन दूंगा, आप अलारनाथ आइए। तो फिर चैतन्य महाप्रभु अलारनाथ गए। और अभी भी वहां पे लाखों लोगों की भीड़ होगी खीर प्रसादम के लिए, क्योंकि अभी जगन्नाथ जी बंद है दर्शन। तो फिर सब लोग अलारनाथ जाते हैं। और वहां पे हमने बहुत अच्छा देखा प्रभु जी, रामानंद राय जी का बर्थ प्लेस।
ओह अच्छा,
बहुत बढ़िया। और भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर का भी मठ था, मगर वो रिनोवेशन हो रहा था तो हमें दर्शन नहीं हो पाए वहां पे, हमें नहीं जा पाए वहां पे। और एक दूसरे भी है सिक्की मेटी करके एक माता जी थे, चैतन्य महाप्रभु के एक एसोसिएट थे, वो भी बहुत क्लोज एसोसिएट थे। जो सबके जितने भी उनके एसोसिएट थे, उनके डिवोशनल प्रोग्रेस के बारे में वो लिखते थे। सिक्की मेटी का बर्थ प्लेस भी वो था। तो फिर हम लोग वहां पे गए थे और दर्शन किए। और हम लोग को वहां पे गोपी गीत करने को मिला था राधा रामानंद राय जी के बर्थ प्लेस पर। वो बहुत मजा आया।
So was it a guided tour?
हाँ, नहीं मतलब हमारे माता जी जो है ना प्रभु जी,
somebody must be guiding you, right? All these places.
यस, हमारे शिक्षा गुरु, हमारे शिक्षा गुरु जो है वो सब जगह पे क्लास लेते हैं और सब जगह के बारे में हमें बताते भी है। और उनको सब जगह पे जो भी पंडा होता है ना प्रभु जी, उनके साथ अच्छे से कांटेक्ट है। तो भी प्रसादम भी हम लोग को मिल जाता था। कोई भी टेम्पल में हम लोग अभी रेमुना में गए तो रेमुना में हम लोग को प्रसाद मिल गया, अलारनाथ गए तो वहां पे हमें प्रसाद की व्यवस्था हो जाती थी, साक्षी गोपाल में हो जाती थी। कहीं भी जाए हमें प्रसादम मिल जाता था। तो
मेरी बहुत
अच्छा
आशा
लगता
है, मेरी बहुत आशा है, मुझे ये जगह मुझे देखनी है सब कुछ ना।
हाँ,
I really want to come to that Puri temple, visit Sharad Prabhuji, and I'm going to depend on Sharad Prabhuji to show me all these places, especially the Sakshi Gopal place. उनकी जो स्टोरी सुनी है, really remarkable story it is.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is so remarkable.
खुद आए थे इधर, you know.
Yes. और प्रभु जी हम एक नई प्लेस भी गए, नील माधव गए थे। यहाँ पहले जगन्नाथ जी के पहले जब भी भगवान का स्वरूप था जो नील माधव, वहां पे गए थे। सो वंडरफुल प्लेस। तो वहां पे जाने में टाइम बहुत लगा था, फिर मगर बहुत अच्छी जगह है। पूरी स्टोरी सुनी वहां की कि पहले कैसे सबर और देते जाति के लोग भगवान की वहां पे वर्शिप करते थे, मगर भगवान ने सबको बोला था कि किसी को बताना नहीं। मगर उड़ीसा के राजा को चाहिए चाहिए कि मुझे भगवान के दर्शन करने हैं, तो फिर वो विद्यापति को भेजते हैं। वो पूरी स्टोरी है ना प्रभु जी, कि फिर उनको दर्शन वो ले लेते हैं, मगर फिर भगवान बहुत नाराज हो जाते हैं और अदृश्य हो जाते हैं, नील माधव जी। फिर जगन्नाथपुरी का प्रादुर्भाव होता है, फिर भगवान जगन्नाथपुरी में आते हैं और पूरा उसका जो कास्ट आते हैं नदी में, वो नीम का कास्ट आता है। अभी भी होता है कि जो कास्ट आने वाले हैं, वो जो नीम का पेड़ है प्रभु जी, वो पूरा स्वीट हो जाता है, कड़वा नहीं रहता है। वहां के लोग को पूरा मालूम पड़ जाता है कि ये झाड़ में से ही अभी लेना है कास्ट, तो कास्ट भी आते हैं, और मगर पूरा नीम का झाड़ होता है वो। तो जो बहुत अच्छी
दिस चॉइस जो वुड होता है वो स्पेशल होता है ना चॉइस।
हाँ प्रभु जी। मगर उसका भी एक स्टोरी है प्रभु जी, कि भगवान राम ने जब भी वाली का वध किया था, तो मगर वाली ने बोला कि मेरा तो कोई कसूर नहीं था, आपने मेरा वध पीछे से किया है टू सेव माय ब्रदर सुग्रीव को। मगर फिर भगवान ने उसको आशीर्वाद दिया था कि अभी जो मेरा रूप आएगा, वो नीम के ट्री पे भगवान जो खड़े थे, राम भगवान, वो नीम के ट्री के पीछे खड़े थे। तो वही नीम का ट्री अभी वो भगवान जगन्नाथ जी के कलेवर में यूज होता है। ऐसा वो वहां के पंडा जी ने, नील माधव में पंडा जी ने बताया पूरा स्टोरी है।
ब्यूटीफुल, थैंक यू सो
फिर
मच।
हम लोग महातीर्थ हरिदास ठाकुर की समाधि पे गए थे, बहुत मजा आया। और वहां पे हम लोग ने स्नान भी किया, महातीर्थ में स्नान भी किया सबने। और बहुत अच्छा एटमोसफियर, बहुत अच्छा था। हर रोज शाम को बारिश होती थी, और सुबह में थोड़ा गर्मी था, मगर बैलेंस था ऐसे।
वंडरफुल वंडरफुल, वी आर वेरी
और फिर हम
फॉर्चुनेट।
लोग प्रभु जी भुवनेश्वर भी गए थे हम लोग। एकलिंग शिवलिंग के दर्शन भी बहुत अच्छा हुआ।
शरद प्रभु जी से मिले थे आप?
नहीं मिल पाए प्रभु, टाइम की बहुत शॉर्टेज थी, तो नहीं मिल पाए, मगर मैंने फोन किया था उनको। और क्योंकि नील माधव गए थे ना प्रभु जी, तो बहुत टाइम लग गया। फिर हमें भुवनेश्वर पहुंचे 7 बज गए थे, तो फिर वो सब अलाउड नहीं करेंगे ना कि किधर भी जाओ के मतलब मिल नहीं पाएंगे। तो प्रभु जी को मैंने फोन कर दिया था।
He knows all the place. They can give, he can arrange to see a darshan of the deity is very close by, you know.
Yes, yes प्रभु जी। मगर जगन्नाथपुरी में हमारे प्रभु जी एक पंडा जी थे, माता जी, हमारे माता जी के बहुत क्लोज एसोसिएट है, तो उन्होंने अंदर अच्छे से दर्शन करवाए। और सबसे अच्छी बात प्रभु जी कि हम लोग ने शयन आरती का दर्शन किया जगन्नाथपुरी। सबसे अच्छी बात थी, हम लोग 3:30 बजे तक वहां थे टेम्पल में। 9 बजे से 3:30 बजे तक टेम्पल में थे, और इतना अच्छा दर्शन किया, इतना कीर्तन किया, गीत गोविंदम के सारे गीत गाए, मेन इतना मजा किया। और बहुत अच्छा ग्लिसफुल यात्रा गई प्रभु जी। और मैं तो इतनी फॉर्चुनेट नहीं थी, मगर मेरे सारे ग्रुप वाले, उन लोगों ने स्नान यात्रा का भी दर्शन किया, क्योंकि 11th को स्नान यात्रा था ना जगन्नाथपुरी में, सब जगह पे स्नान यात्रा, तो वो उनका दर्शन हुआ उन लोगों को सबको।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम।
वी आर रियली ब्लेस्ड।
थैंक यू माता जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के। मन करता है कि हम सारी, हमारी टीम सारी जाए।
यस प्रभु जी, जाना है। मैं तो भगवान को वही बोल के आई कि वापिस जल्दी जल्दी बुलाओ, मुझे आना है।
मेरी तो बहुत ही इच्छा है, स्ट्रॉन्ग इच्छा है कि मैं जगन्नाथपुरी एक बार जाऊं, जीवन में एक बार।
यस प्रभु जी, प्लीज आइए, जल्दी आइए।
हाँ
Yes, Prabhuji, we can request Sharad Prabhuji to organize a tour for us of our group. That would be great.
Yes, all are most welcome.
Okay, I think it's time for the Nashima prayer now.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Praladadayine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Shilatankanakalaye. Nito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Nito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Pahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Pahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadin Sharanam Prapade. Narasimhamadin Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringa. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadripa Nararirupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jayo Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Wonderful class.
Thank you.
Mataji, Sharad Prabhuji, Raksha Mataji.
Thank you,
All
everyone.
devotees. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhaiji. Thank you for telling my mistake, my
No,
weakness.
it's not a mistake. It's we have to learn all the skills, you know.
No,
Nobody's born with it.
This is
But
weakness.
you are doing a great job. Doing a great job.
बट वीकनेस बताना इज मुझे तो ठीक लगता है, अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि मुझे अपनी वीकनेस को सुधारने का.
That is your greatness. Thank you. I was reluctant to say. No, thank you, Sharad Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
So tomorrow we'll meet again, right?
Yes.
Thank you,
You're beginning.
Thank you,
Are you beginning tomorrow, Sharad Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you beginning tomorrow or next week?
Hey, tomorrow is lesson 92 by Archana Mataji. Next weekend is starting.
Okay, all right. Okay, Hari Bol, everyone, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you to all devotees. Archana Mataji, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna.